Hello friends, this is Postgresql basics and we are talking about the index. This is video number 2. Now in the previous video we spoke about how we create an index. Now we need to understand a few other things about the process of creating the index. When we use this syntax to create an index, what will happen is that this index will scan each and everything in that table. Now at this time of the scanning, which we call it the index build time, this time when the index starts to scan each and everything in that table to create an index, this table will be locked. Means that we cannot do any changes on that table until the index build is finished. So there is no changes will happen on the table until the index build is finished. The index build, or the changes that can take place, are insert, update, delete transactions, which is usually we call it the DML, the data manipulation language. So these three queries can happen. These three transactions will be prevented from happening while the index build is going on, because the table is locked. When the index build is going on, the table is locked, and accordingly we cannot do any transaction such as insert, update, delete on that table. Nevertheless, the select queries, the DQL, the data query language, the select queries, the reading from that table will be normal. We can read, we can do a select query on that table while the index build is creating, Okay, and this is mentioned in the manuals. In the manuals of the Postgres states that by default, this is from the manuals. Now by default, PostgreSQL allows reads, select statements to occur on the table in parallel with index creation. But writes, that is insert, update, delete, are blocked until the index build is finished. Okay, so this is what we are saying. When we create an index, the index will scan each and everything in that table. In that period, the index creation, this table will be locked. The entire table will be locked. There is no writes, no insert, no update, no delete will happen on that table, except we can read from this table. Now, be careful when you create an index. For a small table, the time for index build, maybe it will be small, but for a table with millions and hundreds of millions of records, this could be a very, very long time. So if you are creating an index on a very big table, the index build could take a very long time, which means that your database will be crippled literally, because you cannot do anything on it. You cannot insert, update, or delete. You just can only read from the database, which means that your company or wherever you are, this database will be crippled as long as the insert build is being created. So you have to be very careful. When you create an index, you need to notice what are you creating. Is it a select index? Do you want to make any insert, update, delete on your database while you're creating an index? That's a very important point to notice when you create an index, is to look for the size of your database. Now, there must be a solution for this case. I mean, there must be, because when we want to make any insert, update, delete while we're creating an index, we need to find a solution how we can do these things while we are creating an index, where we are building an index. Now for a select query, that is not a problem. We can create index, give it a name on, this is a keyword, schema name, table name, then the column. And then on the select query, select star, let's say from this schema, table, and these are the two tables or the two columns. Now for if you want to do the insert, update, delete transactions parallel with creating an index, then you need to use the concurrent keyword, concurrently. Now I will not go through the details of how this will work, but the point is, when you want to create an index and you want to use the DML, the insert, update, delete transactions at the same time while you are creating an index, then you must create, or you must use the concurrently keyword along with the remaining of the syntax to create an index. So if you don't want to use the insert, update, delete transactions while you're creating an index, you just do it with the normal syntax. If you wish to use these DML queries while you are creating the index, then you must use the concurrently keyword. Otherwise, your table, your database will be locked and you will be blocked from using this table as long as the index creation is ongoing. And that could, for a very big tables, that could take a very long time. And this could cost you your job, because a mistake like this can cost you your job. Now another fact, which is if you want to create an index on multiple columns, then it's better, if you want to create a multiple columns, these have working only on these types of indexes. Now the types of indexes we will talk about when we reach to Postgresql intermediate. Now we are in Postgresql basics. We will not go through the types of the indexes, but I just mentioned to you that when you want to create an index with multiple columns, this can be done only with these types of indexes: the B-tree, the gist, and the gin, and the bring. Okay, so you have to notice these things. Thank you.